Resource pack, what? Is it gonna kick me again? Howdy. Okay. We should be live now. Let's set our status to streaming and open. Then let's go over here to YouTube. YouTube, tubes that you. Opening up the YouTube URL. Gonna post that in my Discord chat. Letting people know on the spam streams you're streaming that you're casting streams. Here's a casting stream. Casting stream. Going live. Casting streams. I should mention them on YouTube. Or not YouTube. YouTube is already where I'm casting. Should mention it somewhere else too, like on Discord. Okay. So, let's see. Gonna... Interesting. It looks like it actually saved my settings to turn live reactions off. But it didn't save the slow mode setting. Interesting. Morning, Sunflower Dragon. Morning, Stacy Grace. Morning, Grace. Morning, Ellis. Frog Portion. Your typical human. Glad to have you. Actually, I should probably also set my game to Minecraft so people can find me in the Minecraft category. Like a professional. Games. Minecraft. Setting the game. Minecraft. It's not filming animation, no. Minecraft. Saving the game. Okay. Welcome, Ghost Mode. We're just getting set up here. Okay. We should probably turn night into day. Mima says, I had no idea streaming had a flag. Yep. It's green and purple. So this is where we were playing Cleo's Blood Along the Clock Tower game. And we have now... Oh, what's this fence? Oh, that's the graveyard. Spooky. I didn't actually get over there. Okay. So that's at yellow 17. Clam Meditation says, what's the schedule for today's stream? We're going to start at 8:30 U.S. Central Time, which was 4 minutes ago. And we're going to stream for about 90 minutes, which is about 86 minutes from now. Okay. So we can update some of these artworks too, probably, now that we've gotten some of the tokens in. Actually, we're going to definitely want the fireworks out for this bit. Oh, the lava really eats the drawing, doesn't it? Hey, SSE Grub. Oh, I need to post a link. We're still setting up the stream. I forgot to post that this is a viewer-supported stream. And that tips are welcome via YouTube, Super Chat, and also paypal.me/JoeHills. I also need to mention that our first ever monthly newsletter just went live. We are switching over from weekly newsletters to monthly newsletters. Our first ever, let's see, September 2023 newsletter just went live. We're going to be emailing this out to people early next week who are Patreon patrons. I didn't want to send it out today because it's the holiday weekend here in the States. So it'll probably go out Tuesday via Patreon. But if you want to read the news now, we've got some very exciting headlines. Hermit's return. I got to play with Hypnotized on Bed Wars recently. And also Stress and Iskal are back, so we linked their latest episodes. We have a quick update on the first staff meeting after the quarterly meeting, which is that we are going to be launching our refreshed, what do you call them? Like our Season 10 servers. Clam Meditation says, so it's the only email to patrons, but available for all of us to read on the website. Correct. And it's got news and updates about all sorts of stuff. Some of it's only applicable if you're on the Patreon anyway, like the Minecraft stuff. We were talking about how different players have different kind of levels of comfort with like in-game aggression and conflict. And so next season, since my server is going to be, the flagship server is going to be incorporating some things like armor stand mods and stuff like that, it might seem like, oh, well, Joe, what's the difference between that server and like the Vanillish server anymore? Why would people play on Yurgi's server? Well, my server is still going to be using petitions primarily for conflict resolution, whereas Yurgi's server, we're going to be experimenting with some stuff that's better for people who are more conflict averse and don't like direct confrontation. Whereas on Toxic's server, we're going to actually kind of have something that people who are like really into aggressive gameplay styles will hopefully be able to play, not be jerks, but play aggressively without worrying about stepping on anything. And we'll have mods in place designed to optimize that experience. Toxic's doing some research now. But, for example, one thing that we're looking at including on Toxic server, this is a possibility, is the ledger mod, which keeps track of every block that's been moved, every chest that's been opened, stuff that's been added or removed to chests, but with the twist that every single player can read the ledger. So if you're just like running a shop and somebody steals from you, you can just walk up to the chest, /ledger history or whatever, click the chest and be like, oh, so-and-so took this stuff from my chests. I don't need to get a moderator involved to do a whole investigation. I can just, let's go deal with this ourselves, right? So, not that we're expecting people to steal, but that, like, the idea is, like, if somebody accidentally takes something and forgets to pay, you can resolve that yourself. You don't have to go to the moderator and be like, what? Somebody took stuff out of my chest. If you go, hey, Jim, it says here you took, like, 30 stuff out of my chest and didn't pay. It's like, oh, yeah, sorry, my kid fell down the stairs and I logged off real quick. Let me get that to you, right? Instead of, you can just send that message and get it dealt with instead of having moderators in the loop. But it takes a different kind of personality for that than everybody has. So that's not something we're going to roll out on the flagship server. Whereas Yurgi's server would have possibly a higher tempo of staff involvement, where if there's a problem, Yurgi will step in. I'm going to probably budget Yurgi to do check-ins and interventions like that twice a week for 15 minutes a week. Or, no, sorry, twice a week for a half hour a week. So 15 minutes like one day, 15 minutes another day. So whereas my flagship server would have petitions once a month to deal with conflicts, if people are like, I really can't deal with waiting a month if something goes wrong, you could play on the server that has the higher tempo of staff intervention. Did Ren return the shulker box I left at the ice track? He absolutely did not. I went over there and I retrieved it myself, Evan. Thanks to all the kind people who left messages going, Joe, your box is in Ren's stream, go get it. So that's the thing, is like, you don't always need somebody else to solve your problems for you. So yeah, basically the plan is for Season 10, we'll have 3 different servers with different tempos of moderator or staff intervention. So people who want to solve their own problems without waiting can play on Toxic server. People who want other people to solve their problems without waiting can play on Yurgi server. And people who are okay with that monthly petitions tempo can play on my server. So we're going to have, each server will also have different seed. Each server will have different back-end mods. Yurgi, now that my server is going to be incorporating like armor stands and a few of the other things that were kind of hallmarks of or staples of the vanilla server, Yurgi can go a little bit more wild with what she includes, and not have to worry about getting too far from vanilla. Like the vanilla-ish server can go further out, is the plan. So we don't have details posted on that yet because Yurgi and Toxic aren't going to be launching these until, like, either the very end of 2023 or the very beginning of 2024. But that is just something that, you know, we talked about, and we want to make sure that people from different kind of backgrounds in terms of conflict resolution and culture and whatnot have ways to feel like that they're playing at their speed, you know? So I'm very excited about this solution. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Because we want to have as welcoming a community as possible. But the thing is, what might be welcoming to one person might be alienating to another, you know? So trying to get that going in a meaningful way can be a real challenge. But that's why, you know, we've got a great team. Really happy to be working with Yurgi and Toxic on this. Queen Dark Lady and Tommy, the rest of our moderation staff, are also contributing, providing feedback. So very, very excited. But yeah, you can read a little bit about that in the newsletter. We have the obituaries for the August Everstorm. We are changing the Everstorm cycle to sync up better with the monthly newsletter cycle. So each newsletter will now contain an entire Everstorm narrative, start to finish, which is a big change. So if you want to see, oh, how did that Everstorm go? You can just go in and read about that one Everstorm. So let's leave these shulker shells here. I'm surprised I don't have a ender chest down here. It's a bit of an oversight. Okay. So let's make sure that we've got the right chat open here. Morning, Mahi Zero. Whoa. Clan Meditation says, what's the Everstorm exactly? I'll show you. While Doc is logging in wildly. / game mode spectator. So the Everstorm server is a server I reset once a month. Every month it's got different game rules and mods, but they're back-end server-side mods, not client-side mods. And it's got an Everstorm that basically there's a thunderstorm that never ends. We turn off the weather cycle rule. And people are dropped into some sort of inhospitable environment, and they can determine their own goals. One of the mods we're testing this time is the horse buffs mod. So I put a bunch of horses at spawn, and I also put a bunch of saddles and chests here. So that way people can experiment. So the Everstorm mod is, some of these chests are empty because people have pulled stuff out of them. But yeah. Basically, the idea is that we use the Everstorm server to experiment with back-end mods that might one day be useful either for mini-game servers. Yeah, it's a storm that lasts forever. That's right, Nola. So, like, this horse buffs mod might be usable as a quality-of-life mod on one of our modded servers in the long term. So I'll let people know, hey, make sure to test out the horse buffs mod, let me know what you think. But also I installed some other mods that do mysterious things, like making stuff glitch. in terms of... So I explicitly installed a mod that does glitchy world gen to make this one look kind of creepy. I gotta say, like, the glitchy world gen is a lot of fun. You get, like, flowers growing on stuff here. Now, I'm not going to say exactly which mod I used for that until the end of the month. It's up to the players to also kind of guess what mods are installed by experimenting. So it's kind of a mystery where you get to wander around and explore and look for things and be like, ooh, hey, there's a lot of times we'll install some sort of either terraforming or terrain changing mod, some sort of structure mod, and so then people can explore and be like, oh, I found this kind of structure. Maybe it's this mod pack. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, the trees on trees is very fun. Let me see if I can teleport to somebody here. Mercurial Void has got a zombie in a boat already. And horse here. One thing I try to do is I try to change how the server experiences month to month, because I don't want somebody who joins one month being like, hey, this month is just like the next month, and then they think that that's always part of it. Yeah, it's a hardcore server, so it resets once a month. And so like if Mercurial Void here drowns, that's it until October, right? You don't want that. So you got to be really careful about what you're doing. But yeah, so it's kind of fun to have a hardcore server where you can mess around for a month, and if you die, well, you try again next month. But what we do in the newsletter is when people die, we ask them to submit obituaries, or if they survive, they post like a single sentence about what they accomplished that month. It's a lot of fun. Uh-oh. A lot of skeletons there. But yeah, so one of the mods lets flowers and trees and stuff like that spawn on all sorts of stuff. Morning, NJ. MJ is literally in a pit. MJ in pit, literally in a pit, feeding chickens. Woo. MJ has been working on a little cubby here. Getting some stuff going on there. Monete, you might think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. But either way. Yeah, this is the Everstorm. We just launched this. Yeah, this is one of my Patreon servers. So we have kind of 4 main Patreon servers. We have the Everstorm. We have the Flagship Vanilla. We have Yergi's Vanillish, which is vanilla with a bunch of quality of life improvements that people love. And then we have Toxic Glitter's Create Mod server. Yeah, we're disconnecting real quick. Yeah, sorry. I know it says HermitCraft in the title. We're going back to HermitCraft. People asked me to explain, because the newsletter just went out. And I mentioned that the newsletter has a bunch of stuff about the Everstorm in it. And people are like, what's Everstorm? Yeah. No worries. We are getting back on the server, and we're going mining. Dang it, I forgot torches. Howdy. But yeah, so like one thing that's a lot different this week on Everstorm, or this month on Everstorm, is that the last one had a very safe spawn. And so I like to go with opposites. So if one month we have a really safe spawn, the next month we have a very unsafe spawn. You know, just if one month we have really big terraforming mod, the next month we might have a more subtle terraforming mod. You know, I try not to do, because if I do like 2 big terraforming mods in a row, like it kind of gets old, you know what I mean? Or people start expecting it'll always have a big one, you know? But a lot of times I'll include some sort of like weird mod, like, wait, what's that? War pigs? What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I'll usually try installing some, like, random weird mods. Like, there was one month where I installed a mod that if you had double doors and you opened one of them, it would open both of them. Or if you closed one of them, it would close both of them. Like, doesn't really impact gameplay that much. But it's kind of fun to mess with. Cleaning lady, cleaning up the bastion. Cleaning lady, interdimensional. Oh, yeah, we should put the totem back in our offhand here. They're all hot seconds in Straya. I don't know what Straya is. Is that, like, Pearl lore? Hey, diamonds! Woo! I was gonna say, I know we're not gonna get a ton of copper at this level, but I did want to try and get some diamonds, too, because we're gonna be doing a lot of shopping. Oh, Australia! Australia. Gotcha. Hey, Technologic, welcome in the Discord. Welcome NJ in the Discord, too. Do. Hey, whoa, did we find another? Oh, no, that's the same one we already found. Okay. We might actually want to extend that somehow, maybe. I don't know. We could maybe make a cave that connects that. Jevin left the game. Jevin's never the same. He's always changing up. Gooey slime boy shaping up. Drew Baca writes, howdy. Welcome, Drew Baca, to do. Yeah, I forgot that I was supposed to mine copper. I was like, let's get diamonds. But now that I've got a few diamonds already, it's like, well, maybe we should go switch back over to copper. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Iskal! One thing I mentioned once again in the newsletter is I mentioned Iskal and Stress just put out new episodes. Where did I go? How do you Iskal? I really appreciate Iskal taking time to hang out with us, because I know he's got a new Vault Hunters pack he's working on. I'm actually thinking about giving that new Vault Hunters pack a try. It's supposed to launch in, like, October. Have y'all seen much Vault Hunters? Would you... I'm not sure if it's a new pack or just an up... It might be an updated version. I don't know. He said something like, if people were going to jump on, he's got some big changes coming in the next update in, like, late September, early October. Is that the sort of thing that y'all would want to see from me? Space Demon says, I haven't, but I would like to get into Vault Hunters. Well, I would be going in completely blind. It would be a blind playthrough where I'd be learning as I go. Mind of Me says, I've followed the alpha and played a few releases. It's pretty fun. Clam Meditation says, I tried it once, but it forced me to download the CurseForge app, and I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. I'll find a different way to get it installed. I'm not going to install the CurseForge app. Yeah, my stream still says setting up stream. Yeah, I'm not, like, I'm supposed to be setting up to go mine copper, but I got tired and made a dumb mistake, and so we're at the wrong Y level. We'll be setting up stream later. Or, we're setting up the stream now, kind of. It's not set up yet. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Investor says, I've really enjoyed watching X play it. Would like to see you take it on. That's one of the reasons I'm thinking about it, because X has had so many positive things to say about it. NJ says it reminded me a bit of Spelunky. Ooh, I love Spelunky. Are the vaults or the dungeons randomly procedurally generated? Andre says, what's wrong with the CurseForge app? I don't like installing anything. If I want to run as few lines of executable code on my computer as possible. If something is supposed to automate something for me that I can do myself, I'd rather do it myself. You know, I really just don't want to have that attack surface. Each vault is procedurally generated. Technologic says, I know nothing of Vault Hunters, but would appreciate watching you learn it live on stream so I can learn at the same time. Yeah, I'd probably do some streaming and some episodes. Like, I can tell the laundry is on the spin cycle. Dang it. There we go. Evester says, I think X went in blind too. It should be easy enough to pick up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, assume I might know more about modded than I do, but yeah, Iskall said the best time to jump on would probably be after the next update. So that'll probably be in a month to a month and a half. There's sets of pre-crafted rooms with random points of interest and orientations. It's feature complete now, and the quest lines are set up to teach you how to play well. Well, I know that the game already exists, but he was saying that, like, if you were going to get started, if you're not already playing it on a series, like, you know, it would be better to do, if I was going to kick off a series today or right after the update launches, it would be maybe better, more interesting to have the series start with all the new stuff in the next launch. Is Vault Hunters related to Borderlands? That's all I can think of, says Curly Parmesan, or Parmesan. I think Vault Hunters is what they call the people in Borderlands, but I'm not sure if it's actually related to it directly. But yeah, they do call the treasure hunters in Borderlands Vault Hunters, don't they? Okay. So yeah, it sounds like people are generally interested in this. This would be a fun thing to do. So yeah, we'll look at that. We'll be revisiting that later this fall. But I just kind of wanted to get some general feedback from y'all about what you were thinking. Oof. Chow Yun says that the Vault Hunters was inspired by Borderlands. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know one way or the other, so yeah, maybe Iskall's talked about that publicly in a context I haven't heard. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay, so let's just mine downward here real quick for a minute. And we're going to establish a little base area. Okay. Spectral arrows are kind of rare, aren't they? So let's actually put anything we want to keep over here for right now. Or anything... Yeah, we'll keep some of the surplus stuff in there. Spectral arrow can go in there. Yeah, okay. Oh no, we're out of range of the beacon. That's why this area hasn't been done, isn't it? Oh. Maite says it's a pretty long mod pack if you complete everything, but it's pretty open-ended. Yeah, that's why I was looking at starting it in October. Because that way I'd have something to do once HermitCraft wraps up at the end of the year. I was thinking like that might carry me through. If I started it at like the end of October, it might carry me through the end of January maybe. Okay, so from right here, we're just barely in range of... Is it the one forward here? One thing I'm excited about, too, is apparently the next version of Vault Hunters is going to have the Create mod in it. And I've been wanting to do a Create mod series over winter break in the past. And so this would let me do Create mod stuff over winter break. Monte says there's a lot of settings to adjust progression speed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that stuff too much right now. I'm going to wait until it launches and have one of the other hermits probably help me with making sure that stuff's all set up right. Jiaoyan, thank you for tipping 5. That's our first tip of the stream. That's going to get us 15 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. So I'm down here putting the hot in the hot bar. A lot of people have been asking when my stream's going to start. So let me see if I can get an answer to them.
The usual streaming setup. Turn on the lights, make sure they're bright and gleam. Title and tweet, pour water, tank top and chroma. OBS seems all set, so I click start the stream, and so I'll pause holding and open VLC. I'll pick 2 songs before.
Lay your head down and dream. I'll say that's us to y'all. Joe Hills from Tennessee. Folks asking when will my stream begin?
After howdy, it's items and chest tools breaking. Pickaxe and poof while talking to you professional Minecrafter here, there's no mistaking. Then I'll click crafting quick, anvil time, enchant pick, then I'll replace the books in random chests with care. I'll tour my winery, I know there's blocks somewhere.
And then I'll hush and hush and hush and hush chat swears not any closer to recording. Folks keep asking and asking and asking and asking, when will my stream begin? Seriously, y'all, I need to record. the next episode. I've been working to war. I can't edit without footage new. Once I'm all geared up,
maybe we can
start the show. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some more of these real quick and fashion a couple more shulkers here. Is there a shop selling the mini head things? Not to my knowledge. Beef collects some. Okay, so we can take down that setting up stream now sign. Woo! Uh-oh. Water! Don't love that. How much water is there here? Doesn't seem like a lot. Okay, it's coming in from like around the edges where the ocean is there. Okay. Welcome, professional idiot. Don't wanna be a professional idiot. One nation under the new media. Do you hear the sound of hysteria? Everybody do the propaganda. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alienation. Oh, everything isn't meant to be okay. TV dreams of tomorrow. We're not the ones who left to follow. Not enough to argue. Better figure out that leak. It's bad for the electronics. Yeah, pinball machines getting wet is not good. At all. It's not good. Not good at all. Monete! Monete! Monete tips 20! Woo! Thank you very much, Monete, for that. That's going to get us 5 past our next face camera expansion milestone. Our first one, in fact. So please direct your attention down here to slot 9, where I'm putting the hot in the hot bar with this pork chop. So I can say, howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da-dee-da-dee, Oh, I need to move this camera over a little bit. Boop. Also, Quinn's chair is really, really visible. Forgot to move that out. Move your chair. Okay, let's go. That puts us 15 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So thank you again to Monete for that. We've got the newsletter pinned up there. Our first ever monthly newsletter. That's an experimental new feature of the website. We've gone from weekly newsletters to monthly newsletters. I'm going to be posting that update to Patreon early next week. Didn't make a lot of sense to have that sitting in everybody's email inbox over the holiday weekend. Zombie Cleo! Cleo! Welcome! Good morning. Howdy. La 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 la. La 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 la. Making my way through the world today takes everything I got. Yelling at Zombie Cleo in the Minecraft chat. Wouldn't you like to mine some stone? Take this, don't go alone. And look for copper in machines. It'll eventually turn green. If you just wait, it'll oxidate. But that is what they say. Mining and mining and mining all every day. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. If there's a new look fancy Corrales. Ah, okay, okay. So this is going to be a water hazard here. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually past the. Oh, that's past the line. Okay. I didn't realize I had overshot there. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Fashion icon Corrales. Corrales is always so fashionable, walking down runways. He's so fashionable. He spends more time on runways. He's so fashionable, he spends more time on runways than 737s. Fashion icon, Corrales. Okay, so that's the limit of the, what do you call it? The limit of the beacon. So we come this way and we got beacon power, beacon power, beacon power. You go that way too far, lose the beacon. Just throw it out. You got some bath water? Throw out the beacon with it. Okay, I'm gonna throw some torches here. Hello, 46 Bonnie. Hope you're having a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, and good night. We're just looking for some copper here. Not finding a lot of it, I'm gonna be honest. It's not my best copper-seeking expedition ever. But we did get some diamonds when we were mining far below earlier. Honestly, all of this stuff needs to go. So it's not terrible if we mine out a bunch of it and don't find copper, but I really want to find the copper. Nola says, I wonder what percentage of any given year professional models spend on runways. I would imagine they spend a lot of time walking in rooms that don't have an elevated stage, but they might make tape marks on the floor to indicate, like, so they can pace out, like, walk this far, then turn, then return, you know? Yeah, I should not have cooked as much copper as I did. It's not quite time to repair the pick yet. Will be soon. We'll come back with some sponges too once we've freed up a lot of water. Grian, join the game. It's Grian. The Grians. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Mind of Me says copper tends to be in caves that are exposed to a lot of air and not within the stone. Interesting. The problem is we don't need to remove a lot of caves. We need to remove this stone. So it's kind of like... This is the part that must go. Not... So, like, even if we don't really find a lot of copper here, we're at least, like, making progress toward clearing out the space under the pinball machine. We are finding a lot of iron. You're not wrong. I don't really need that, but we are finding it. let's swap the pick out. The different one. Yeah, how big is this area that we're clearing right now? Like, this is... It's not tiny. Let's go take care of the slime. Okay. La 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 la. Just on the bus on your way to school. Alrighty, have a good good day at school. A lot of schools, well, Davidson County, which is Nashville, all the Davidson County schools are off today because it's Labor Day weekend. So my daughter was supposed to be headed to her mom's for the weekend, but that fell through. And so I have been frantically trying to plan fun stuff for her to do this weekend during the time that I was expecting to edit and work, because I've got a lot of editing to catch up on. My footage queue overfloweth, which is part of the reason also that I'm not trying to do anything too dramatic right now that'll be like, oh, that's got to go in an episode, because it's like, I've got enough stuff that's got to go in an episode. Let's just make some progress. Let's just find some copper, get some diamonds, set ourselves up for success later. Let's have a relaxing morning before I start editing. But yeah, so we walked over to buy coffee this morning, because I try to buy my bags of coffee from local coffee shops. So we walked over to a shop that sells coffee, and I was able to get her... It's actually cool for the first time, really. It's September 1st, and it's our first real cool morning of the fall here in Nashville. So I picked my daughter up a hot cider. I didn't pick it up for her. I bought it. She was there. She carried it home with her. But yeah, that's why I'm drinking out of like a to-go cup today, because on the days that I go get the new bag of coffee, I don't have time to brew the new bag of coffee before the stream. So pick myself up a to-go drip coffee, picked myself up a new bag of beans, and got her nice little first apple cider of the fall. So that was a nice little way to get out of the house before sitting around and streaming and then editing. Nola says, I am so extremely thirsty for that first real fall breeze. We're not out of the woods yet in Alabama. Yeah, no, this is a big change of pace here in Nashville. We had like our hottest week of the year like last week, and then it or 2 weeks ago, I guess. Then it kind of broke finally. So yeah, we're gonna run this stream for an hour and a half. We're about 45 minutes into it now, 50 minutes into it now, but I'm not gonna run long because I do want to hang out with my daughter some this morning. So tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. And we are 15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Yeah, non-alcoholic cider. Yeah, warm apple cider with cinnamon is like a kid's, or well, it's not only kids that drink it, but a lot of times when I take my daughter to coffee shops in the winter, I would get her either a hot cider with cinnamon or a hot chocolate. But no, non-alcoholic, definitely. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's grab these and this. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Americans call alcoholic cider hard cider. That's correct. Okay. Let's make another one too. Actually, let's make 4 more right now. And once they're full, let's put a torch over them. That's not going to pop the torch off. Cool. Okay, so we're definitely finding an underwater tunnel there. Ooh, copper! Actual copper, the thing we're looking for. What? Monte says, this weekend is going to be beautiful up here in Michigan. I'm probably going to drive to the lake for the day tomorrow. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I hope you enjoy your holiday weekend and have a good time at the lake. Yeah, Tennessee has a lot of lakes as well, but they're man-made, whereas like up in Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, y'all have a ton of like glacial lakes that are really cool. Beautiful area up there. Jiao Yen, thank you for tipping 3. Woo! That is going to get us now 12 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've always had a good time whenever I don't get up to the Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin area often. But when I do, it's always beautiful when we get out by the water. It's a gorgeous area of the country. Yeah, let's try filling these sequentially, just as a treat. Dang it, pluralized runway for no reason there. I'm gonna be embarrassed forever. Looks like Corral says, forgive me. What a relief. I don't need to be embarrassed anymore. La da 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 do. Do 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 do. Cobble is the worst block to use for that because it has a slower breaking rate than everything else. Womp womp. Gravel. And we are no longer picking up blocks, are we? We haven't been picking up blocks for a while. Okay. Monte says there are always stands by the beach selling kitschy t-shirts with phrases like 100% salt-free and Central Coast, and I pay too much for them, but I love them. I mean, if they're bringing you joy, like, that's the thing, is like, you know, I never want to buy something that I'm not going to wear. But, like, if I get something and I'm like, ah, this is great, like, yeah, that's worth it, you know. MJ says, just scrolled back to see Joe on Everstorm. Glad I was able to be in a pit. Yeah, you were right on brand there, MJ in pit. Is there water right here? No, good. Okay, cool. Torches. Putting torches down. Putting torches all around. Nola says, tacky beach junk makes me nostalgic for my childhood beach trips to the Gulf Shores, Alabama. Yeah, like my parents, we didn't have a lot of money, and so when one of my uncles married into a family that had a beach house in Rehoboth in Delaware, that ended up being where we went every summer, basically, because that was the only place we could stay for a week without having to pay for a hotel for a week. And so, just out of sheer coincidence, as a kid, like I had a bunch of shirts that said Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and like I still remember like you know, getting new airbrushed shirts every year because we kept growing. It's like, I haven't actually been back there, but yeah, we played a lot of pinball at the arcades there when I was a kid. That's one of the reasons I have so many fond memories of pinball in my youth, I think, too. But yeah, that's so cool to be able to afford a place like that and then share it with your family. Because, like, the part of my aunt's family that owned that, it was like her parents' beach house, I think. And their plan was that they were going to retire there when they were done working, which they eventually did. But until they retired there, they bought it like 20 years before they planned to retire, right? And the idea was, okay, well, we'll spend a month there, and then we'll let different members of the family spend a week there at a time. And so it was, you know, always getting used. It wasn't like they were wasting it before they retired. But then when they did retire, you know, it was all paid off and everything, you know, because they had been covering the mortgage for decades, you know. Got about 30 minutes left in the stream. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a short one since this is a weekend that my daughter was supposed to be out of town, but she's here instead, so I got to make sure that I'm not completely buried in streaming nonstop. We might find somewhere to go that she can read and I can edit for a little bit, maybe. Because I got a lot of editing to do. Really want to get that Scar video out, but, like, I don't... I want to get the footage in there to make it look right. Like, I want to get the photos and stuff from Gamers Outreach. There's just a lot to do in there. And so... Because it's a very talky video, so I need to have some stuff to complement that visually. So... Sometimes I stress out too much about these things, but, like, when I know a particular video is one that people are going to be coming back to for years, like, I especially, you know, want to make sure it's done right. You know, a little bit of extra time now will be something that I can be proud of for a long time. Welcome, Hazel. Glad you could join us here on the HermitCraft server. Uh-oh. I hear some water spreading. Yep, whole nother underwater cave here. Oh, this is all connected. Okay. Ba-da-da. Dee-dee-dee-dee-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-no-no-no-no. The joys of aquifers, I know, right? At least it's not Dwarf Fortress. Man, aquifers are the worst in there. Okay, so let's get our torches back out. That one's full. That one's full. That one's not full. That means this one is. That one is. This one's not. That one is. Okay, so we've got 2 empty. What I probably should do is swap those so that they're at the end, but whatever. It's fine. Ella says in the Everstorm chat that they're visiting their mom and have a ping of 700. I don't recommend connecting to Everstorm if you're somewhere with unreliable internet. Playing on a hardcore server is a challenge in the best optimal conditions, and playing on a hardcore server when your ping might betray you is not gonna be fun. It's no fun if the internet is what kills you. So yeah, I hope you have a pleasant visit with your mom, but yeah, you might want to wait until you get somewhere with more reliable internet to give that a go. But yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let me make sure that I'm on the right channel here. Have I joined the decked out queue? How do you join the decked out queue? I didn't know the queue was open. Oh, I thought Scar is just standing in line because he doesn't have anything else to do. Now that he's done with Scarland, he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like one of those. He's like one of those guys. He retired, and then like the next week, I mean, my grandfather on my mom's side, he retired from his factory job, and then the next week he's like goes to the grocery store and he sees that they're hiring somebody to work in produce. He doesn't know anything about produce, but he's just like, well, it'll get me out of the house. And he signs up to work the produce section just because he's just the sort of guy who he loves. It's not. He just needs. He wants to be productive, you know. He likes to sit and read the paper and watch TV and stuff, but not like the whole day. That's like the reward for the end of the day. You know what I mean? And you know, he was good at woodworking. He had hobbies and stuff that he enjoyed, but you know, it's not one of those things where he could do woodworking for 12 hours a day. You know, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go get a chill job stocking produce, and then, you know, part-time, just to have something to get me out of the house, you know? But yeah, so Scar's like, okay, I'm done building Scarland. Gotta go find something else to do. I guess I'll stand in this line. Aggressive line standing Scar. Everyone's favorite line stander. Innocent line stander. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna have to come back and get this pool with the sponges for sure. That's what it looks like. This, though, we can plug. How much of that is... Yeah, just coming down from there. Okay, cool. Cool. So we can clear out this. No! Pickaxe. Well, that's why we have several. Okay. Scar built an armor stand queue at Tango's front door. Oh, that's fun. This is why I don't do netherite picks for this stuff, because I would be upset if I broke a netherite pick, but just like, it's just another Like, we got a ton of diamond picks. It's fine. I don't need to stress about this. Okay, are those the only ones that high up? That's its own whole thing there. The more water we unveil, the easier it is to sponge off later, so... It's not the worst thing to be getting that figured out. Okay. Yeah, that's... We can manage that. Okay, so up here... Okay. Okay, well, from over here, that's looking a lot better. This will look better once we get it more mined out, but this is a good start. Oh, there's some copper in the wall. Let's get our fortune pick back out. Okay. Okay. Do. Dun 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 dun. And let's have a fireproof potion. I think we were nearly done with a lot of these. How many? Okay, yeah, like this one we ran out while we were midway. How many are left? One here. Oh, that's actually off by a block. Two left in the whole thing. Okay, we can knock that out real quick. Like zip, zip. Bum. Hey, it's Monate. Tip in 50. Woo! Thank you very much, Monate. The first 12 gets you one face camera expansion. 32 gets you a second. And then we are only $2 away from the one after that. So here we go. Please direct your attention down here to the lower left so I can say expand Joe. And then numero dos, even larger Joe. La da da da. And Monte writes, I don't understand why there are cute dog stickers, but I like them. Well, hey, whatever brings you a little joy, you are appreciated. Thank you very much, Monte, for that. Let's go ahead and toss some of these in here. Bum, ba, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And Technologic tips another 2 to get us right across the finish line for that 4th milestone. So here we go. Expand Joe. Do. So thank you very much, Technologic, as well. Okay, we have 1 coin left somewhere, or 1 token left. Where is it? Here, I found it. Woo. Okay. Do we have enough? We might have exactly enough. Alrighty. So there we go. We got our tokens in place. We can start removing all of the lava now. Let's go remove a lot of lava. Okay. So we got somewhere I had a lava bucket box. Did I? Let's maybe switch to recording mode. Start recording. HermitCraft Season 9, Episode 72, maybe. Segment Charlie, Take 1. And action. With all of the copper placed properly in our tokens down here, I think it's time to remove the lava that might otherwise cover all of the detail that we want to see. We don't really need the copper to be lit by lava now that we got all that glowstone there. So this should be nice and simple. We've got some inventory spaces left, a few of them at least. There. Probably going to have to drop off some of the lava down at the smelter. Because I don't think we have enough spots for everything here. Okay. Quick little zip down through the power thing here. Up to... Ah! Boom. Throwing those in there. I feel like we need more buckets, though. Did we leave the extra buckets? We might have grabbed them all. 9. Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of buckets, is the short version. We burned through a lot of buckets in this thing. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna return back this way. Did that wrong. Should have flown out through the power hole. Yeah, sometimes fish get into the furnace. I don't pretend to understand it. Okay. The stars are emerging as we continue to collect lava. We'll see shortly whether or not mobs begin to spawn inside of here as we go. Although they are already starting to spawn on the lip. I didn't factor that in. But yeah, this bucket wouldn't traditionally, or this coin box tray here wouldn't traditionally be lit by anything inside of a real pinball machine. So I'm kind of fine, I guess, with just mobs spawning around the edges. This whole place doesn't have to be mob-proof. If players flying through here happen to occasionally get sniped at by skeletons, that's not going to be the worst thing. Creepers, not as good. Not as fond of fan of creepers attacking people. But let's go ahead and fly up here while that lava recedes. Yeah, that definitely looks like a bucket of coins. That's feeling good. We should probably go get our map. And, oh wow, we are actually basically out of inventory space. So let's go drop off these buckets. Put black carpet on the lip suggests mind of me. Would mobs not spawn on carpet? I thought mobs spawn on carpet these days, but I don't know. Maybe not. Interesting. Have a good day at work, Nola. Let's fly out here. So the lava is receding. Our fireproof potion is wearing off just as the lava is receding, so I think we should be proceeding up here to our map, which right now has a bunch of lava and unfilled in token icons there. But if we pick that up and wander this way for a bit, that's an Enderman and there's a creeper. Okay, so things I didn't think through all the way include this walk. But let's see here. The map is still gonna need a second for that lava to recede, it looks like. Oh, nope, these two are just on the ground there. Well, luckily, we have a gravelly solution to that. It's just gravel. It's not that clever. But we can grab that gravel, and now we can see the tokens in there in the coin tray. Nice. Now that's going to be covered up by the apron later, but as an intermediate step, I think it's cool to be able to see that. So we'll toss that back there. And now that the lava is gone, how do those shiny tokens look for somebody flying past from, like, over this way? So at first you don't see them. It's just like, oh, and then they start poking out. Ooh, that's a stack of coins. Well, there's actually no stacks. There's going to be stacks. This is pass one. But in general, we got a few mobs maybe that are going to spawn in that outer area there. But as we add more coins, that'll get filled in on its own with some extra lighting. I'm really excited. I think this is a good first pass. It looks like tokens from above for anyone visiting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and lay our heads down and dream. Time skip. Stop recording. There's enough in there. I'm going to cut that down a lot. But that's... the core concept is in there. Oh boy. Exhausted. Do I need to wax those? No. I don't want to. I think it'll look... it's more interesting if you see them change over time as the show goes on, I think. Yep, so this is the first layer. And so, like, right now, you see how, like, there's, like, this space right here? There might be another coin that's on top, or a token that's on top of this one that juts out into here, right? Or another one on top of these two jutting out into this area. So it's going to be more three-dimensional as we go. Like, there will be one that overlaps this part of the lip and then extends onto there. Creepers on the edge. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I haven't figured out how many tokens I need. But what I'm kind of thinking about doing is setting them up so that each one... so I haven't figured out yet what I'm going to do for my Patreon monument this season. Hey, Badger. So, Patreon patrons, let me check the exact level that this is at, because I don't want to misspeak here. This only comes up like once a year or every 2 years. I think it's the $10 a month level, but let me check that. Plus, your name will be added to my supporters sculpture in HermitCraft Vanilla that season. Yeah. So basically, I've got to go in and pull a list of everybody who supported me at the $10 a month level at all since this season launched. And then I'm thinking I'll put one sign on each token for each of those people. So it's $10 a month or up on Patreon. And so I don't know yet how many people are going to be on that list, right? But I think when we did the Ever Given one, and I had to put in one sign on a different shipping container or whatever, I feel like it was like 200. So this is about 37 tokens here. I figure I'll put signs on a bunch of them and then start stacking more tokens. So we're going to need more copper. We're not done. The only thing I'm a little worried about is I need to make sure that the signs are accessible, right? So that, like, if somebody, like, the sign for this token shouldn't be right here, because this is going to be hard to get to. The sign for this token should be, like, on this side, right? The sign for this token should be on that side, you know. Like, and so as I stack them, I need to make sure I'm not putting the new tokens in such a way that it's covering the signs on the old tokens. But I kind of feel like because this is the cash box, that actually is really thematically fitting too. I don't know. Shinlu says, the Ever Given project was the first time I really noticed Joe. Well, thank you. I'm really proud of that project, and I'm glad that it got your attention. And I'm glad you're here. How are we on our current elytra? We're doing all right. Okay. So I think what we want to do right now is... Oh, we're actually wrapping up the stream. Let's do last call for tips. Like I said, I've got my daughter this weekend, which was not the original schedule, so I'm kind of juggling. Usually when my daughter goes away for a long weekend like this, I try to front load a bunch of work, because I'm taking her somewhere fun the next 2 weekends. So I was like, okay, well, she's at her mom's this weekend, I'll do a bunch of work, and then I can not stress the next 2 weekends. And I'd still like to not stress the next 2 weekends, and I'd still like to get all that work done this weekend, but I now have to juggle taking care of her this weekend as well. So, yeah, I can't let the streams run long. But yeah. So, let's go ahead and see. Okay, so I'm going to give folks a chance to get those last minute tips in. In the meantime, why don't I grab some torches, maybe, and people are suggesting that I should go check a dripstone cave for copper. We can kill a little time searching a dripstone cave for copper. I think that that's possible. Dripstone cave, searching for all the copper. Dripstone cave. Let's grab an extra thing of fireworks there, too. Bum, ba, da, da, na, 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 na. I think there's a dripstone cave over here. Mouse Mac tips 5 and says, Grow Hills, I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. Thank you, Mouse Mac. That puts us 15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. And then we got another tip rolling in for 20 from Ellis. Thank you, Ellis. Boom. That's going to get us 5 past our next expansion milestone. Y'all have seen that money go straight to my head. Uh-oh. Where is that? With each milestone we hit. But now, like Jacob Morley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling us down to the deep below. Enter the Joust. Bum, 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 bum. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 90%. At this point, each additional face camera expansion will be accompanied by a corresponding drop in Joe opacity. Let's turn our video settings down in terms of the render distance now that we're going to be hanging out in one place. In a cave. Woo! Okay. So we're going to do a few minutes of quick power caving to make sure. Sometimes PayPal tips can take a minute to roll in, and we don't want anybody who supports the show to not feel appreciated. Yeah, I feel like part of this down here was a dripstone cave. Maybe not. Dripstone cave. Immediately shot twice. Wait, there's one of those little lava guys. Can they spawn in the overworld, or did somebody bring him here? Somebody must have brought him here, right? That doesn't happen by accident. I don't think. Okay. Well, anyway, the lower level definitely does not seem to connect to a dripstone cave. Let's try the upper level here. Ooh, there's copper. Let's light this up better before... Ooh, there's copper. We're going to light this up enough that we don't get mob attacked when we're mining. Okay, so let's go grab that copper there. Ah, creeper. Didn't expose any copper. La da 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 da. Save that strider to sell to come for the museum. Copper there. Oh, hey, this is dripstone. Y'all were saying I need to look for dripstone, right? Okay, ooh, there's a bit of copper as well. Because, yeah, to do another layer of tokens, we're going to need way more copper than we got right now. Okay, it's 10:05 now. We'll give those PayPal tips a few more minutes, but not much, because I'm going to skate shortly. Okay. I always wish that that song about You Give Love a Bad Name was like You Give Love a Band Name. I remember when I was a kid, if somebody had like a dumb idea for something, they'd be like, oh, that'd be a funny name for a band. Like, somebody might say something like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. Maybe pastrami noodles? No. Or like, what? Pastrami noodles? No, that's not right. Oh man, but pastrami noodles would be a great name for a band. It's like, what if you gave love a band name like pastrami noodles? What if that's an option that you had? Copper! That's actually a lot of copper. Ooh. Y'all were not wrong. I was not expecting that, despite the fact that I'm like, wow, this is a really darkly lit, poorly lit area. A lot of stuff could jump on me here. Not a safe place to be. Immediately actually surprised anyway. Oh, here we go. Copper vein. Inject it directly into my copper veins. Ooh, more copper. I think we might end up logging out in this area here and then coming back tonight for the evening stream and doing some mining. Also, I think your mob sounds are off. Oh, you're right. Thank you. I was like, why do I keep being completely surprised? Mob sounds were off because of the, what do you call them? The loud guardians or whatever at my base. Okay, so this is a nice little dead end now where mobs aren't likely to surprise us. Could always use more gravel. Bum, bum, bum. Space Demon says, I have returned with coffee. Oh, good for you, Space Demon. We're actually heading out pretty shortly. I was just giving Tips a last minute or two to roll in while we cleared out the end of this copper. But, yeah, let's see. We're up to, 2.5 stacks of copper blocks. That's pretty good. So, it looks like with a hard refresh here, that was it for the tips. So, it's probably time for me go check on my kid and get along with our day. If y'all haven't seen it already, our good friend Stress Monster just returned to the server. I am going to, we're not going to do a formal raid because we're on YouTube or whatever instead of Twitch, but I really want to encourage folks to go check out Stress's latest video and welcome her back. Stress usually takes the summer off while her kids are home from school. And then once they're back on the school schedule, Stress will start recording again. So it's super exciting to have her back on the server. Leave a nice comment. Check out the video. Let her know you're excited. I know I am. So thank y'all so much for hanging out. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop streaming. Stop.